Hi, today I'd like to talk about gender identity and how it affects our mental health, or at least it does for me. So I'm going to go back to when I was a child, or the first 46 years of my life, where things were pretty stable and I was able to function despite having some anxiety and depression now and then. It wasn't debilitating, but what it did do was cause me to be self-aware, and I guess it meant that I was unsure of myself because I didn't know if I was supposed to be a boy or a girl, and I knew that society wanted boys to be macho and tough, and girls are sugar and spice and everything nice. So I was somewhere in the middle, confused, not knowing what to do as far as my gender expression. And I would often overcompensate by being ultra masculine to fit in with the guys. So, in theory, my mental health issues in my younger days were those that most people would have of depression and being nervous. Later on, I would find that being isolated because of my gender identity made my depression extremely hard to bear, and my anxiety would never go away. So, in 2009, I was hospitalized for the first time because of suicidal thoughts and my depression. And when I left the hospital, I was still not medicated, but I quickly realized that something had changed. And when it changes permanently. It's not something that just gets fixed. So prior to 2009, I used adrenaline to get stuff done. After 2009, adrenaline was debilitating. It would stop me from getting things done, and it would help set me on a course for many attempted suicides. So at this point, something had switched in my mind. I had gone from functioning in society and being able to control what my adrenaline did to being out of control with depression and suicidal thoughts, which also included extreme thoughts of anxiety. My anxiety was so bad that I was shaking most of the time. My depression was so bad I was crying most of the time. I ended up leaving the hospital in August and going into a crisis center, and from there into a homeless shelter. While I was in the homeless shelter, I got a phone call from New York Regional Police for my arrest, which led to more anxiety and depression. And then I fluctuated from going to court appointments to being rehospitalized for suicide attempts. And this went on, it was a cycle that went on, and they were trying different medications. And after years of struggling, I realized none of this was going to change. This depression, this anxiety, these mental health issues were now part of who I was. So then I needed to find coping mechanisms. In the medical community for mental health, they like to use CBT, DBT, various meditations and mindfulness and group therapies, which are fine. They help you struggle through the day-to-day stuff. But in the extreme event where I get to the point where I cannot cope anymore, that's when I turn to this kind of stuff. That's when the age play, the age regression, whatever you want to call it, that therapy seems to help me a lot, because then I escape from my reality for an hour or two, for a day or two, or for a week, whatever the case may be. And when I'm in that state of being a little girl, that's when I get to relive things in my childhood from a girl's perspective, and I'm able to de escalate the stressors in my life, and I'm able to cope much better. I find the people that do use age regression quite often have a specific age they like to be, and they feel safe in that age. For me, it just happens to be 6 years old, but there's no reason why it's six. It could just as easily be 4 or 10 or 8, whatever. It's just an escape to a world that is simpler. And I think when people understand that mental health is complicated, and so the treatments for mental health need to be complicated as well. I hope that someday doctors will study play therapy and age regression and get statistics, because I feel that it's a lifesaver for me, and it gets me to the place where I can actually function again and then go back to doing my adult stuff. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do enjoy it, please subscribe and hit the thumbs up. If you don't, please comment below and let me know what you don't like about my story. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, please let me know in the comments as well. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.